Guys, I know I wasn't here last week, but let me tell you what happened. Literally, I went to go get my eyebrows done, right? I remember when I was 15 years old, I'm 26 now. I got my eyebrows done like they were threaded right before I went on a cruise. And the lady did the worst job in the world. I just told her, clean up my brows. Like, I don't want you to take out like more hair than was needed. And she left my eyebrows looking like toothpicks. And it was the most traumatizing thing ever. Ever since then, for like 10 years straight, I have been doing my brows by myself and they came out really, really good. But this past month, I was like, you know what? Let me just treat myself out for my birthday because I turned 26 September 15, and I never used to do waxing too because my skin would always break out and stuff. I have very sensitive skin. But I was like, you know what? Let me just go because it's been so long since I've gotten my eyebrows waxed. And I went to the spa. She did such a good job. Like, she literally did the best I have ever seen my eyebrows. I did an eyebrow waxing and tinting. Obviously, the tint is gone. Like, my eyebrows has been going through it because literally she waxed it on a Saturday. And I kid you not, Monday morning, I woke up and everything was filled with pimples. Like, my skin broke out so bad. And I was like, there's no way. Like, there is no way. Like, I was just like so sure that for some reason my skin would be better. No, my skin is so sensitive. And if you break out to wax 10 years ago, you're going to break out again. So because of that, I was like, I can't film this because I usually film on like Sunday or Monday. And I could have filmed on Sunday, but whatever. Long story short, my entire forehead broke out like into hives. I don't know if it's called hives, whatever. But it broke out so bad. And I was there like, OMG. Because the thing is, it looked like I was like a teenager again because I used to have like acne like on my forehead and stuff. But I felt like a teenager again because my entire forehead was broke. I was so sad because I haven't had like a breakout like that since I was a teenager, right? So I was just like so freaked out. I forgot my ring. Let me get my ring because I'm engaged. Anyways, the point is I didn't film because my forehead and my eyebrows and stuff, they were just like so messed up that I was like, I can't do this. I literally can't. Whatever. So here I am a week later. Sorry I didn't film last week. But here we are today. This entire episode I feel like was inspired because last weekend I went to mass and the priest was giving one of the most amazing homilies that I've heard. So the gospel was from Luke chapter 17 verses 5 to 10, and it's basically about the apostles basically asking Jesus to increase their faith, right? And then Jesus talking about your faith being the size of a mustard seed, then you can do whatever you want, basically. From that gospel, the priest starts talking about the story of being like, the best dining experience that I've had was when I went to Applebee's, and all of us were like, ha 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 ha, Applebee's, you got us there, bud. But then he continued, like he was serious about it. We're like, oh, okay. He was like, I went to Applebee's in some other state. I don't know. You would think that you're in like a 5-star restaurant. So the waiter is like doing the best in this job. And then the priest is like, wow, this guy is amazing. And then even before like tipping and, paying at the end, the priest was like, hey, like, I just want to let you know, like, this is probably the best service that I've ever received. Like, you're doing such a great job. And, thank you so much. And the waiter, was just like, thank you so much. That means so much to me. Like, you have no idea. And then they just start talking a little. And basically the waiter starts telling the priest that a few years ago, this guy was in medical school. He was top of the line, A's in school, and he had all this scholarship. It was fully paid for. It was great. Like, he was on his way to become a super successful rich person, right? He's in medical school, and obviously medical school is a lot. And this guy goes through like the worst stress ever, and next thing you know, he has a heart attack that obviously brought him to the hospital, and he had to stop going to medical school. Once he started recovering and stuff like that, then he started thinking, he was like, what am I doing with my life? I'm literally almost killing myself to become a doctor, almost killing myself from the amount of stress. Is this really something that I want to do? So the guy, like the waiter, he starts reevaluating his life and his situation and what he wants to do. And then he's like, you know what? Like, the thing I want to do in my life is to give to others. Like, I want to make people happy and to help people. And what that looks like, I want to be a waiter. And all of us were kind of laughing because it's kind of like you think in your head, like, that's your dream job. But when you put yourself into his shoes, where he literally almost died from a heart attack from being in medical school, whatever. So he starts doing his job as a waiter, and he's like, I just strive to do the best that I can and to give my all in whatever I do. And he wanted to be a waiter, and he's been in Applebee's for 4 years. And he says that he's never felt the amount of happiness of giving like his all in being a job as a waiter. That's what the priest was telling us. He was like, we have this aspiration of this amazing thing for our life, and to do all these amazing things, earn all this money and this and that, whatever. But we kind of make it about ourselves and we forget about other people. This guy who's gonna be a medical school person, I don't know what kind of doctor, but he was gonna be so successful and rich and everything, but he dedicated his life and is dedicating his life, I guess, to this day, of being a waiter in Applebee's. And he's doing it to serve other people because he realized that that is what brought him joy. So this all ties back in, because after listening to the homily, we were just kind of like, wow. And then the priest goes on to say of like, the way that we can live a life that is fulfilling and that we feel purpose in our life and meaning is by giving life to other people. And when we stop chasing pride in a way of like our own dreams and aspirations just for ourselves, what can I do to benefit myself? How can I benefit myself from these things in my life? Once we stop looking at things in that way, then we can start seeing the joys in life and the most mundane, beautiful, small joys in this life of somebody being a waiter in Applebee's. That brought him more joy than being a doctor, right? To me, like, it made me step back and being like, wow, like, it is so true. When we take the life out of people and what can I take from this? What can I take from that? When we are takers, we are stripping other people and ourselves of joy. We become miserable people, but the people who give the most are the most happy, fulfilled people in their lives, right? And it's in the first reading of Habakkuk, but he basically is, crying out to God, being like, why is there so much suffering? Why is there so much injustice? And then God tells him, the righteous one will live by faith. And this also obviously ties into the gospel of having the smallest amount of faith. Well, you can move mountains, right? Like, you can do anything by having the smallest amount of faith. We have to like see ourselves as servants to God and to other people. And when we do this, and even in the moment when we don't see the reason and we don't see the purpose of what is going on in our lives and why God has something going on in our lives, like why does he allow things to happen, like setting ourselves apart from that and just being faithful to God and being like, you know what, I'm gonna live my life for you. I'm gonna live my life to serve you and to serve other people. That is when God is able to work through us, because when we have a heart that's open and we have like an open heart posture, that's when God is able to work through us. In the same way that Jesus laid his life down for us and gave his life freely gave his life for us to save us, we should be doing the same, giving our lives and our time and whatever we do in this life to other people. Give life to other people so that we can continue to be prepared for the kingdom of God. So anyways, I want to tie us a little bit back to the gospel of the faith of, the mustard seed is the size of a mustard seed. If you don't know, the mustard seed is the smallest little seed that you can have. And when it's planted, it grows into the biggest, most beautiful plant ever. And that is kind of like what Jesus wants to tell us. Like, God wants to humble us. He wants us to be humble and servant-led. When we come up from a place of humbleness and humility, we're not coming from a place of, applause and recognition. Like, that's not the point. We're not here to be applauded. We're not here to be recognized. We're here to prepare our souls for the kingdom. So how can we give life to other people? It's a lot of different things. So one of the most basic things that I've talked about before, but is the power of the tongue. Your words have power, and I can watch my episode because I was talking about how God spoke life and it came to be. And the same way that we are created in his image, we have limited authority and power to do so the same, but we can speak life to other people. We can speak positively to other people, encourage other people, love other people. That's I think one of the biggest things that we need to do as followers. Another way that you can also give life to other people is to serve other people, right? But doing like helping other people, but doing it from a good place. Like, don't be like, oh my God, like this person needs my, no, like help somebody with love and joy and like excitement, right? Like, just for example, like sometimes like I'm in bed, like I'm exhausted, and my mom comes to me, she's like, hey, can you like do like sock curls? Because I taught her like you can do like heatless curls with socks. And sometimes in the moment where I'm so tired, I'm in my head, I'm just like, oh my God, I don't want to do this right now because all I want to do is go to bed. But then I have to take a step back and I'm like, dude, it's 2 minutes that I curl, like put the hair into the sock curl, and she wakes up feeling beautiful with her beautiful curled hair. I'm like, yeah, of course I'm gonna do like the sock curls on your hair. And it's just like that moment means a lot to her. And that moment of sacrifice that I make of 2 seconds that I would be like scrolling on my phone, I can give those 2 seconds to my mom and give life to her and that joy to her. I can do another episode on this too, but I talked about this in my testimony where when I had my encounter with Jesus and like I, surrendered my heart to him and I surrendered my life to him, that is when I became the most free. And it's just like when you come from a place of wanting to control your life and wanting to do things your own way, you're putting yourself in like a godly image by trying to control your life. And that's what I was doing for a while. And that's what made me so miserable, where I was like, oh my God, I need to control everything. Oh my God, things aren't going my way. Blah, 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 blah. That was the most miserable that I had ever been in my life. But when you like fully let go and let God handle it, and you don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to worry about, oh my God, what is going to happen? Oh my God, is this going to work out? It's going to work out. If you are with God, then who is against you? There is nothing more powerful than God, right? So if you are with him, there is nothing that can come against you. And so giving your life to him, right? Like that is obviously like one of the most important things to do, but serving your life, using your life to serve God and to serve other people, it's the most freeing thing ever, because you don't have to worry about anything, because God's got it handled. You know that you're going to be fine. And instead of trying to control everything and trying to be the narrator of your life, let God narrate and dictate what is meant to be in your life. Because the things that you want to control and keep in your hands and in your grasp and try to sway one way or another, you're taking away what God has in store for you. You want to make your own path, you're going to lead yourself to doom, and you're not going to live a happy life. The only way that you're able to live a fulfilled and happy life is by letting God lead you down the path that he wants you to be. With all of this to say, like I said, Jesus gave his life to save yours and mine, and the way that we can, in the smallest way, repay him is by having the faith the size of a mustard seed. The smallest amount of faith, letting God work through us, serving other people, loving other people, and being life givers to other people. And the same way that we do it for other people, we can do it for ourselves. Live a life of having a humble servant's heart. You'll see the way that life changes in the best way. Surrender, give it to God. Let God be the narrator of your life, and you will see the path that he makes for you is so amazing and the most perfect thing that you can ever imagine. So I encourage you to pray to God and ask him to give you a servant's heart and allow him to work through you, to work to other people, and just to be God's servant, right? We're here for him. We're not here for anyone else. We're not here for ourselves. We're here to prepare our souls for God, for eternity with him. and I think it's the most exciting thing ever. So I think this pretty much wraps up today's episode of the All Glories podcast. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful week ahead of you. May God bless you, and I will see you next week.